But Milk uses this storyteller structure to frame a story that covers 8 years of a hero's life. So, how does Milk work? Well, we begin with the storyteller frame. Milk is recording a spoken will that is to be played if he is killed. Notice this is like the opening of Sunset Boulevard. We then go to news footage of his assassination. This is structurally the equivalent of the end of the battle. We then trigger and go back 8 years to his 40th birthday when he decides to do something with his life. And this is where they establish his psychological weakness. We then track the story events as they lead back to the battle, which is the assassination. And we end the story with mass community, where people are getting together in the streets, not for violence, but for hope. Now, each of the major genres has a desire line already figured out. In memoir true story, that desire is to find the meaning in one's own life. And this gives us a key point. In a memoir, you are being a detective of your own life. Therefore, consider using the detective or thriller story structure to provide strong narrative drive to the memoir plot. What about the opponent in memoir? The third structure step that memoir true story emphasizes is the opponent. And in this form, the opposition usually comes from family or group members. In other words, memoir is basically a family drama. So the main opponent is usually within the family. Now, we know from drama that the intimate opponent is the most powerful opponent of all because they can do more damage than any other character. They get deep inside, often from an early age. So the opposition is much harder for the hero to fight. They aren't the powerful, dangerous action opponent who puts you in physical jeopardy and who you fight by hitting back. No. The memoir opponent puts you in psychological and moral jeopardy. And you often hit at them by punching yourself. This takes the form of shame and guilt. Technique 6 has to do with the memoir true story reveal. The biggest problem you face in memoir true story is lack of plot. Now, as you know, reveals come from hidden information, usually about the opponent. Now, in a memoir, that opponent is usually a close family member. Therefore, some of the best reveals come from discovering how someone who loved you was also attacking you. In other words, a person can love you deeply and still be your biggest opponent.